if you want to see a total train wreck, watch at 1 o'clock on Saturday. I think Alabama's probably, I think they're 25 point spread. So, okay, and with that, the Dolores County Broadcasting Network presents the DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for Tuesday, September 18th, 2018. Camera people. Daniel, video engineer and producer. Edward, sound engineer, Dan. Teleprompter and prompter, Myra. News anchor, Devin. Meteorologist, Hannah. And this is your news director, Dan. And now, the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. You can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. This story is from the Denver Post. Checking in, cougar caught on video entering Boulder motel. A cougar was caught on camera briefly entering a motel at the base of the Boulder foothills before quickly exiting the building, which wandered off. Colorado Parks and Wildlife tweeted surveillance footage from the foot of the mountain motel of 2. Okay, I'm gonna read off the other one. 200 West Arapahoe Avenue, Colorado Parks and Wildlife spokesman Jason Clay said he was sent the footage last week through. He does not know the specific date it was taken. The video, the cougar comes into view and appears startled by something which Clay said was actually some visitors and their dog. Those people did a good job keeping their animal on the leash and then just trying going back in their room, Clay said. This is not the picture of the motel cougar. This is just a picture of some random cougar. So please, I would like to have one of these, right? These looking in the eye. Anyways, a cougar was caught on camera briefly entering a motel at the base of the Boulder foothills before quickly exiting the building. Okay, now, an evident reminder why not to leave your door wide open, and also why it is important to keep your dogs on a leash when living, visiting, and recreating in lion country. You never know what may encounter. Boulder to be site of Global Satellite Company's largest facility, a company on the cutting edge of using small satellites to provide data on weather, climate, and even the location of ships around the world, is expanding its Boulder office to make it a key hub of its operations. Spiral Globe Inc. will show off its new 25,000 square foot custom weather satellite and center in Boulder on Wednesday. It will be the largest of Spire 5 offices. The other offices are in San Francisco, where the company is based, Singapore, Glasgow, and Luxembourg. Grow Inspire business fueled by the need for more satellite-based data in the weather world is driving this large expansion of our local footprint, Spire CEO Peter Platzer said in a statement. The high-tech and meteorological communities of Colorado make the area an extent place to do business, Platzer added. The location of Spaceport Colorado, the Colorado Air and Spaceport, formerly Front Ranger Airport, near Watkins, is another big factor, and said Alexander McDonald, director of Spire Global Validation Model. In August, federal regulators granted Spaceport Colorado its operation license to make it one of 11 facilities in the country designated to handle the next generation of flight space planes. Aerospace companies like Airbus and Virgin Atlantic are working on developing vehicles that would take off from the runways under jet power and then ignite a rocket engine for suborbital spaceflight. The expansion in Boulder is so indicative of how strong the company feels about Colorado as a place for space business, McDonald said. The movie also speaks to Colorado's high quality of universities and their graduates, research centers, and other members of the industry, added McDonald, who retired 2 years ago as a head of the Earth System Research Laboratory at the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration in Boulder. About 35 people worked for Spire Globe in Boulder. The new office building will hold more than 100 employees and include space to build satellites. The company now manufactures satellites at Glasgow satellite site. Camera One, marijuana. This story is from the Denver Post. I'm confused. Marijuana addiction is real and rising in San Rafael, California. For as long as most residents can remember, smoking marijuana has been part of life here. And the fact that California legalized the practice in January when practical, unnoticed in this quiet town, a half-hour's drive north of San Francisco, where some say normalization of Americans' marijuana culture got its start. For Quentin Pohl and other teenagers before him, smoking pot was a rite of passage. It was a diversion from the loneliness he felt at home when his parents were splitting up and a slave for middle school salve. For middle school angst, it was his entire social life. In 7th and 8th grade, he said, when social life is everything. Even though nearly all his friends were using marijuana and seemingly to enjoy it, Pohl said at some point his marijuana use took a turn and he never saw it coming. He became addicted. Many people are unaware of marijuana addictions, but in public health and medical communities, it is as well defined disorder that includes physical withdrawal symptoms, cravings, and psychological dependency. Many say it is on the rise, perhaps because of the increasing potency in genetically engineered plants and the use of concentrated products, or because more users are partaking multiple times a day. There should be no controversy about the existence of marijuana addiction, said Davis Smith, a physician who has been treating addiction since he opened a free clinic in San Francisco's drug-drenched Haight-Ashbury neighborhood in the 1960s. We see it every day. The controversy should be why it appears to be affecting more people. Although estimates of the number of people who use marijuana vary, the federal government and the marijuana industry tend to agree that total marijuana use has remained relatively constant over the past decade. Increasing use in the past 3 years has been slight despite increased commercial availability in the states that have legalized it. The percentage of people who become addicted to marijuana estimated at about 9% of all users and about 17% of those who start in adolescence also has been stable. Some studies report that even higher proportions of marijuana users develop a dependency, which means they experience withdrawal symptoms when they stop using the drug. Yet here in the Northern California, some addictions treatments practitioners say they're seeing a surge in demand for help, particularly among adolescents. Marijuana's estimates rates of addiction is lower than that have cocaine and alcohol, 50%, and heroin, 24%. Unlike with opioids and stimulants, marijuana dependency that tends to develop slowly. Months or years may pass before symptoms begin to affect a dependent user's life. This story is from the Idaho Statesman and TVB. More than 100 goats descend on a neighborhood in Boise. Residents of an Idaho neighborhood woke up Friday morning to a sight that really got their goat. An invading herd of more than 100 goats rampaged through the neighborhood of West Boise, devouring flower beds, grass, and leaves as they moved from yard to yard on Friday morning, NBC affiliate KTVB report. Representatives of the company that owns the animals were rent goats arrived at the scene and managed to herd the goats into a truck around 9 a.m., less than 2 hours after the initial calls were fielded by animal control from the 10,000 block of West Summerwind Drive. As the goats were rounded up by their handlers, a throng of onlookers and reporters rival the goats herd in size gathered to watch. The neighborhood band together to force them into one lawn while they were waiting for us. We rent-a-goat owners, Matt Gaibasa, told NBC News everyone seemed to be enjoying it. There were a ton of little kids around. Mothers brought infants in strollers to see the goats. We Rent a Goats, according to its website, provides rent herds of the animal to landowners in need of mowing large swaths of grass. The animal's parent specializes in chowing down on weeds. The company has insured and will be following up with neighbors whose landscaping was damaged. Animal control will also be following up with the company, Boise City government. Spokesman Mike Journey said in an email, the 118 goats that got loose were originally corralled near Ada Country Highway District retention pond, broke through several slats of wooden fence to scour the area for more food, the Idaho Statesman reported. The breakout wasn't exactly the stuff of heist movies. Apparently they just leaned on the fence and it broke, said Gaibasa. Dumb laws in California. It is unlawful to let a dog pursue a bear or bobcat at any time. In San Jose and Sunny Valley, it is illegal for grocery stores to provide plastic bags. You may not only throw a frisbee at the beach of Los Angeles Country, California, with the lifeguard's permission. Sunshine is guaranteed to the masses. It is a misdemeanor to shoot at any kind of game from a moving vehicle unless the target is a whale. Women may not drive in a housecoat. No vehicles without a driver may exceed 60 miles per hour. Bathhouses are against the law. Now you can use the weather with Hannah.
Current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in the beautiful downtown Dove Creek. The current temperature is 85 degrees. Today's high was 86 degrees. The low was 58 degrees. The Bermuda Triangle meter is at 63 inches and is falling. Humidity is at 19%. Wind is between 1 and 9 miles per hour from the northwest. Gusts have been up to 27 miles per hour. There were 0 hundredths of an inch of rain measured today by the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 65 hundredths of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 4 inches and 85 hundredths. Now for the big map, courtesy of the National Weather Service. The high over the four corners is still with us. However, today isn't keeping the area's weather clear. There are several areas of low pressure across the nation, seven low pressure areas that may cause thunderstorms and flash flooding. More rain. There is rain in Montana into South Dakota. More rain along with thunderstorms can be found in southern Arizona and New Mexico. Rain is blessing Wyoming into Wisconsin and Illinois that may cause flash flooding along the South Dakota and Iowa border. Flash flooding is not a blessing. Up here. Thunderstorms and falling rain starts in Louisiana and then goes into Florida along the north coast into Maine and the Atlantic coast. Now, here's our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 76, high 50. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 76, low 49. Friday, mostly sunny, high 78, low 49. Saturday, mostly sunny, high 77, low 51. And then Sunday, high 78 and low 52 with thunderstorms. Now for a climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability and worldwide variations of hot and cool temperatures. So it is important we report the CO2 weekly changes. Here are the current readings in parts per million. 405.39 last week, 405.47. 1 year ago, 403.58. 10 years ago, 383.05. Thank you for watching our Kids News Show and Weather Show. Remember that you can help buy sponsorship. To buy sponsorships, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to our news director.
And that's the end of today's DCTV 4-H Evening News Program. This is your news director, Dan, saying good night and thank you for watching.